Get Manchester United FC updates directly to your inbox plus subscribe. Thank you for subscribing. Could not subscribe? Try again later. Invalid email. Jose Mourinho has mocked pundits' obsession with Paul Pogba's position and insists it is difficult to find a midfield player with more potential. The 24-year-old's relationship with the United manager has come under the microscope after he was dropped in favour of young Scott McTominay for United's win against Huddersfield on Saturday. Pogba's omission came just 3 days after the France superstar was substituted against Tottenham for tactical reasons for the first time in his United career. It has led to numerous pundits, including Graham Souness, Ryan Giggs, Wayne Rooney, Eamon Dunphy and Tony Cascarino, speculating about Pogba's best position and whether he needs to play in a three-man midfield to really thrive at Old Trafford. Giggs, for example, wrote midweek, "That position where he's on the left of a midfield three is where he's at his best." While Rooney said on Monday Night Football that Pogba is a classic box-to-box player. But Mourinho has been left a little perplexed by some of those comments and gave one of his longest answers yet as United boss when asked about how Pogba's performance has been in training this week. "Paul, as I was saying, had a very professional behavior and the week was not different and no different to what Paul is every week," he told reporters at his pre-match press conference ahead of Sunday's clash against Newcastle. "Paul is a good professional. Paul works well. Paul likes to train. I never had a single problem with regard to his professionalism because he is a really good trainer. He's one of the guys who likes to train and enjoy to train." In relation to best position, "I had a few laughs over the past week because I had a chance to read a few things and I'm not English but I think I understand English enough to understand what you want to say with box to box. But with some comments from important people in football I got a little bit confused. Because for me box to box means box to box and means you have to be good in this box. You have to be good in this road and good in that box. It means that you have to defend well in this box. You must have the physical condition, the desire, the intensity, the stamina to go into the other box. In the other box you have to be good. Scoring, creating, heading and so on. Then when your team loses the ball you have to go into the other box. I think this is the meaning of box to box. This week I get a little bit confused when people say box-to-box player plays free of defensive duties. That's not box-to-box. That's box-in-box and stays in box. I got a bit confused. I think this country produced a lot of amazing box-to-box players. I had the pleasure to coach some of them but I think nowadays with some pundits, some agents, some family members, I think the concept of the box-to-box is changing a little bit. I think now it looks like we are going to a different concept of box-to-box. Box-to-box is not my word, of course. I heard it for the first time in 2004 when I arrived. For me, with my Portuguese and trying just to translate into the English, I just think midfield players and for me Paul is a midfield player. It's not a left back. It's not a striker. So when people ask the best position for Paul to play, Paul is a midfield player. Paul is a midfield player. It depends on tactical system. He can play with 1, 2, 3. He will always be a midfield player. It doesn't matter which tactical system team players. For me Paul is a midfield player. There are so many opinions and we are in the world of opinions and people can get a little bit confused, but between me and Paul there is no confusions. Paul is a midfield player and it is difficult to find a midfield player with more potential. Quote, Pogba is now 18 months into his second spell at United and has been tipped to succeed Michael Carrick as the club's skipper. And Mourinho believes there is a lot more to come. United's record signing. With 23/24 of a year old. I think every player is in evolution until the end of his career. He added. Of course, when you are a young kid you have more to develop and more to learn. But until the end of your career I think a player has to learn to improve, to adapt. I don't see a problem. Get all the latest Manchester United news first with our new app. Download it here now.